is Rebellion at Longbourn. And she also organizes the JAFF Writer-Reader Get-Together in November, which was live last year, and I gather maybe online this year. So I'm very glad to have her as a special guest tonight. Thank you, Victoria, for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. So am I a host now? How does that work?
Okay, I'm the host. I will make you the host now.
Okay, I want to make sure I can share my screen.
Yes, Okay, you can share your screen now.
Okay, and make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, you might want to go into slideshow view.
Okay. And can everyone hear me okay?
We can hear you. I'd suggest that on your screen you go from slideshow to from beginning, because we're seeing your entire screen, not just the slide you're on.
Ah,
there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, but now how do I change slides?
You can do it with your arrow keys.
Oh, okay. Okay. You can tell I do a lot of PowerPoint presentations. Okay, so thank you so much for having me. It's really a pleasure. I've been really enjoying being part of watching Jeff and June, and it's been just so much fun and so interesting. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about the JAFF Reader Writer Get Together in November, November 6th through 8th. And last year we did this, and it was in person. We did it near Washington, D.C., and it was a ton of fun. It was so much fun to get everyone together, and we did presentations and panels and a lot of socializing, and we really had a good time. But this year, because of COVID, I didn't feel like we would likely be in a place where we felt safe to do it in person. So we're doing it virtually this year. There we go. Okay. So this year it's virtual. You can participate from anywhere. And if you're not familiar with the JAFF Reader Writer Get Together, it is specifically focused on JAFF, on Austen-esque books. I figure that there are a lot of places where you can learn about Jane Austen and go to conferences about Jane Austen, the Regency, and Jane Austen's books. This is the only place where you can focus just on JAFF. So we are just focusing on JAFF. Anybody is welcome, you know, as long as you like JAFF. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a reader, writer, or whatever. And the tentative schedule right now is that we'll start in the evening, Friday the 6th, we'll go all day Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll go until probably around 5 p.m. But it's June, it's happening in November. So everything that I'm telling you is still a little tentative, it's still in the works. There's going to be details added, and things will change. So just have that caveat. Okay, so here are some of the panels that I've organized. We're going to have a panel, or we may even have two panels, because we're getting a lot of people, about JAFF in non-English speaking countries, which I think is going to be so interesting. And, you know, because I just always wonder about Jane Austen in, you know, Sweden or Italy or whatever, and what that's like. And so we're going to get a bunch of guests who are going to talk about JAFF, they're going to talk about Jane Austen in their country, and then they're going to talk about how they got involved in JAFF. And as you can see, we have some authors and we have some bloggers, and that we may add to that too. There still are people that are on my list that I haven't asked. Then we're going to have a panel on the early days of JAFF. I feel like a latecomer to JAFF. And I know that there's a lot of history there that I don't know about. And I'm sure other people feel that way too. So Abigail Reynolds, Kara Louise, and Jack Caldwell are going to talk about, some anecdotes and some memories and, how JAFF all got started. And I think that's going to be really interesting. We're going to have a panel on JAFF through the ages, not just modern versus Regency JAFF, but JAFF in different time periods. So Melanie Rachel, Karen Cox, and Christina Boyd are going to participate in that. More panels. We're going to have a blogger panel. We did one of those at the in-person gathering, and it was really fun, really interesting to see things from a blogger's perspective. I feel like bloggers are such an important part of building the JAFF community. And so it's really interesting to hear their perspective. And this year we have 3 different bloggers than we did last year. So that'll be interesting. And then we're going to have a panel of authors from the UK. And I'm still working on that. But Joanna and Monica Fairview are going to be in that, and I'm still working on a couple of others. But I think it'll be interesting to see if we can, learn if there are differences between being a writer in the US or in Canada and being a writer in the UK. And I think one of the things that I'm excited about is that, even though I'm going to miss being in person, I think that it's nice that we can take advantage of the virtual nature and have people visit who probably wouldn't be able to fly over the Atlantic or, fly from California. And so I made an effort to try and cast a wide net with this one and get more international participants, because I don't know if we'll ever do another virtual one. It's so hard to know what's going to happen in 2021. So I wanted to take advantage of that. And so we're going to have a lot of international representation, which I think is really exciting. So Sunday afternoon, there's going to be an optional writer's retreat. Anyone can join. If you're a reader and you want to come to the writer's retreat, you can. There will be a slight extra charge for that when you register. And this was something that a lot of people asked for after the in-person retreat, the in-person get-together last year, that they wanted more stuff that was just for authors, and I didn't want to make the readers sit through all of that. So it'll be Sunday afternoon. We'll have a marketing roundtable discussion, which we did last time. And I thought that was really useful. People talked about what worked, what didn't, what they do for marketing. I'm going to talk about the craft of writing. Christina Boyd's going to talk about 20 tips for self-editing. Jan Ashton and Amy Dorazio from Quills and Carto Publishing are going to talk about publishing. And then Elizabeth Ann West and April Floyd are going to talk about self-publishing. So hopefully we will be able to get in all of the different questions and the different concerns that people have when they're writing. And I'm going to work really, really hard to try and get some time in for socializing. I think that's one of the things that made the in-person retreat very fun and successful, was that you could sit down and you could meet people that you knew only through Facebook, and you could have casual conversations. And I mean, I love to talk to readers, that I only know through Facebook or I've only seen on blogs, and so that was very exciting for me. That was just and the people in general, Jaffers are just very warm and nice people. And so it's a very friendly environment, and it was great. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try and work on ways to have casual conversations. I do know that with Zoom, you can do breakout rooms. So you can take a group and randomly send them into rooms of, 4 to 6 people. And that's one way we might do it. I'm hoping that we might be able to do a way where it's not as random, but I'm going to have to talk to Zoom, and I'm also going to look at options on Facebook and things like that. But I would really like to figure out a way that we could have some casual conversation in smaller groups, because big groups on Zoom, just doesn't work. It doesn't work for casual conversation. So anyway, that's one of the things that I'm hoping we'll be able to do. I'm planning to figure out how to do it. We're going to have other fun activities. We're planning at least one watch party. We're going to have readings of works in progress. Don Jacobson will be organizing that. At the in-person event, we had one evening of that. We may end up having 2 evenings of that. We're going to have a virtual goodie bag. We're going to ask each author to contribute an ebook. And so attendees are going to get a virtual goodie bag with a lot of ebooks in them. So, that in and of itself is going to be exciting. I'm hoping that we'll be able to figure out a way to play games, trivia games, if we can figure out a way to do Regency card games online. It's possible that there will be a physical goodie bag. Where Summer Hanford is looking into that. It would have physical books and treats and things like that. Probably not for international participants, just because of the postage, but we are investigating that. And I am open to suggestions for other activities. If people have ideas, think, oh, gee, it would be really cool to do X, just let me know, because I'm happy to entertain other ideas. And if you are interested in learning more, the best place to get information is the JAFF Reader Writer Get Together Facebook page. And you can just type it into the Facebook little window, and it should pull up to the Facebook page, and you can join. Right now, you won't see a lot of up-to-date information. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some of this stuff, which you've just seen the most up-to-date information. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some of this up soon. But because it's June and the event's in November, I'm not putting all of the up-to-date information on the Facebook page right away. But that is the place to get the most up-to-date information. We also have a website, and that has even less up-to-date information. The stuff on that is even older. And we will update that one too. And that will also be the place where people can register for the event. Once we get the registration set up, you'll be able to go there and fill out a registration form. And if you have questions or something occurs to you later on, please send me an email, or you can instant message me on Facebook. I'm happy to be in. Happy to answer any questions, and I'm happy to answer any questions now if anyone has any.
Victoria, we have a couple questions from Kimbell on YouTube.
Okay.
She wants to know if the sessions, probably just the main sessions, not the group house, might be available on YouTube. On YouTube when it's finished.
I'm looking into that. Abigail strongly recommended that when we were talking about how to organize this event, because I've never organized a massive event on Zoom before. So I'm definitely going to look into it. But at this point, it's one of the things that's still up in the air, but we're definitely considering it.
Okay, and she also wants to know, and this might be something that you haven't even considered. She says she's in the Middle East and would still want to buy the bag, but not, but has to work that weekend. Is that possible? So she might
Well,
just need to.
if she wants to, I'm sure we can work out a way. Summer is just really enthusiastic about the goodie bags, and I'm sure she could figure that out. And my cat Dusty says hi. But I'm sure we can work something out if that's really important. Now, the other thing about being in the Middle East is I can't promise that we can accommodate every time zone. We're probably going to have to optimize it for the West Coast and for Europe. So people who are in the Middle East or, India or Australia may end up having to get up in the middle of the night if they want to do it live. But we do intend to record it so that there be some way for you to see a recording of it.
A question from the Zoom chat from Chris. Is there any way translators could be involved?
Oh my goodness. Well, what kind of translators were he thinking of? Do you know?
Well, Chris translates JAFF into Spanish.
Oh, wow.
Chris, are you here and can speak for yourself?
No?
No.
Okay. Well,
But-
Chris, contact me and send me an email or contact me on Facebook. I'm happy to talk to you. It never occurred to me, but this is one of the reasons I'm doing this, because there's so many things that other people think of that have never occurred to me. So send me an email and we can talk about it, because I'm happy to hear your ideas. Are there any other questions? I'm not sure I can see the.
I'm not seeing any other questions except for some enthusiasm for some kind of breakout rooms or places like that for conversation.
Yeah, well, I'm really going to try and do that. I think that'll be really good. Really, that was really a fun part of the in-person exam. Yes, we could alternate methods in alternate years, Jenna, and we'll have to see what happens in 2021. We may end up with a hybrid. I don't know. It's so hard to know. With everything else, it's so uncertain. So we'll just have to wait and see what the situation is in 2021. But it's really nice to be able to have so many people participate who wouldn't be able to otherwise. Are there any other questions? Oh, well, that would be really nice, Rita. I would love to meet you in person. I would love to meet all of these people in person. It would be so exciting.
Well, thank you so much, Victoria. I'm very excited about this conference. I had to miss last year's because I was ill and ended up Skyping in, which we thought was tremendously radical at the time. And
yeah, right.
Now it's just like we do this all the time.
I know. Well, technologically, it was like, oh no, what are we doing? And,
Yes.
and now it's like, oh, it's a piece of cake. Or we do it all the time. So anyway, yeah. But it was great having you participate. I'm glad you're going to be able to do it again.
Yes, I am too. And I'm hoping to see lots of readers there. I've really enjoyed doing this program, which has let me interact with many readers and other writers, and it's just been great fun. And I'm really looking forward to November.
Yeah. Well, it is. It was just so much fun to meet everybody and to meet new people, and yeah. So I'm hoping we'll see everyone.
Okay, great. Are there other things you'd like to do during your time here?
No.